Hi, I'm Shauna. This is Shauna's World. Welcome back to my channel where I make videos about living intentionally. I share things on adventure, breathwork, hiking, running, travel, fitness, all the good stuff about living an intentional life. So if that sounds like something you might want to see more of, please subscribe to my channel. So if you've been following for a little while, you'll have seen I was on a 8 month sabbatical total, about 6 months of traveling. And during that time, I through hiked the Israel National Trail. I went and spent time with a friend in New Zealand and travelled there. And I did a boxing camp in Thailand for 5 weeks, which was phenomenal. And then I finished with a couple of weeks in Hoi An, Vietnam. So I had really the time of my life, and a lot changed since I got back, and I've just been catching up on editing the vlogs from the travels, so I haven't really caught up with you in a while. So I just thought I'd do a little life update and tell you what's been going on. So I guess a lot has changed, and the seed was planted when I was hiking the Israel National Trail. I mean, it was 2 months of hiking. I had so much thinking time and so much reflection time, and during that time it became apparent to me that the life I was living back in London wasn't aligned for me anymore. It didn't feel authentic, and that something needed to change, but I didn't know what that was. I was part of me. I was reading Al Humphrey's The Adventurer. He has a book called Ask an Adventurer, which is basically about how to become an adventurer. And I really wanted to do that. And I also was kind of like, oh, I'd love to make breathwork a consistent income as a facilitator. I'd love to start earning off YouTube, but I'm not monetized yet. So I have all these things, and I was like, I'm not there yet. I just don't have the advancement in where I am with those side hustles. It's not realistic. So I just put it on the back burner. And then when I was in New Zealand a couple of months later, I just thought I would have a look at jobs in Devon, and similar jobs to what I was doing back in London, which isn't necessarily where I want to be forever, but just looked at some fundraising jobs. And one came up that I really liked the look of. I met all the criteria. It was in a great organisation. It's in a university. So I thought I'll just apply and see what happens. And I hadn't even really been thinking I was going to apply to jobs. I was just keeping an eye on what was there with the intention that one day I might be ready to move to Devon, but I didn't think I would be yet. Long story short, when I was in Thailand, this is going through the whole world in sabbatical, I had an interview for this university job and I got it. And then I decided I was going to move to Devon. And then I got back and everything changed. I connected with some people that we decided we were going to live communally together. So we found a house. It's a gorgeous house share in a pub, converted pub. So it's just a really nice house now. And long term, the plan is that we want to buy some land together and live off the land and do the land-based community dream. But for now, we're just kind of living together and seeing how that goes, see how we interact, and then we'll buy land further down the line. And then I started the job in Exeter, which, is really great. Love my team, love the work. I'm feeling really excited about it. And maybe it's not where I want to be forever, but it feels really aligned at the moment with enabling this move to Devon, because otherwise I just wouldn't have felt able to take that leap for something else. So it felt like a really good shift. But then I started the new job and things were not that simple. So a month into the new role, I became really unwell, and I ended up in hospital. It was all really sudden. I was just working from home one day and started feeling unwell, went to the walk-in centre. They couldn't find anything wrong. I was in so much pain. It was like abdominal pain. And then I ended up going to accident and emergency at the nearest hospital. They decided to keep me in overnight, and then the next day I had an ultrasound and they discovered I had a 10-centimetre dermoid cyst on my right ovary. Now, I don't know if you know what a dermoid cyst is. I did not. But it's apparently atypical cells that are formed before you're born. So you're born with the cyst, but they can grow through life. But the doctor referred to it as my evil twin, and apparently they often contain hair and nails and brain cells. And I looked at some photos and So weird, but also really cool. But yeah, I had all this abdominal pain as a teenager, and no one could ever find out why. And I had loads of scans and they never found it, but I think that's what it was. But anyway, they told me that I was going to have emergency surgery. So I had to have this big 10 centimetre cyst cut out of me. They couldn't do it through keyhole surgery because it was too big for that. So I had, the full on, cut me open. It was basically the same as a cesarean. I ended up losing my right ovary as well, which, I did have a bit of a cry when they told me that would happen, because it might not affect my fertility. I'm not planning to have birth children, but it was all very sudden, and just a lot to take in. And then I had to have a month off work recovering, and I could do nothing for myself at the beginning. But all my housemates were pitching in. They were all looking after me. Most of them had been pretty much strangers when we moved in. One is a very close friend, but all the others I'd just met, and they'd been living there a week when they started having to basically care for me full time, and I just couldn't do anything. But the progression and the healing happened really quickly. I was back at work within a month, and I had originally been signed off for 6 weeks, but I was ready to go back by then. I started just walking a minute at a time, and then gradually building up. My running coach did me a little training plan to kind of build my walking up and then start introducing some running. And now, so it's been a couple of months since my surgery now, but now I'm up to running half an hour again, very little pain. Lifting is the one thing that still is a bit of an issue, but that was this huge drama that started my new life in Devon. So since then, it's all just been quite nice, going for runs, going for walks, living community life. I'm loving cooking together in the household and connecting with new people. I think when I was living alone on my boat, I really, really struggled to kind of care for myself properly and care for my space, and just found that so hard. But having other people there to connect with and work with, I'm just finding it a lot more manageable. The thing is, because there has been so much shift in my life with this totally unexpected moving jobs, starting everything new, start living with new people, getting ill, all the goals I set myself for 2023 have gone out the window. I mean, there's little things, but I've just kind of gone, I'm going to have to get focused on getting settled in my job, in my house, and then see what happens from there. There are some areas I really want to come back to, like I haven't been putting videos out as much as I'd have liked. I'm really still catching up with vlogs, and there's loads of stuff, kind of more informational videos I would like to make from my sabbatical, budgets and how-tos and things that might be interesting for people who are traveling to some of the same places. But I'm also trying not to be too hard on myself and just enjoy and embrace my new life in Devon. The place I'm living is really lovely. It's really alternative. Lots of hippie stuff going on, vegan cafes, sound baths, cacao ceremonies. I'm hoping to start some breathwork circles here because I haven't seen any going on yet. And I think, it'd be a really nice thing to bring to this community. There's a lot of that similar stuff, but it's also really close to Dartmoor. So you've got lots of walks on the doorstep, and then fairly close to the sea as well. So I've been for a few sea swims, and it's just glorious being in this part of the world. So it's been a lot going on, a lot of change, a lot of shift, but I'm just really enjoying and embracing it all and seeing what happens next. And it feels like a whole new chapter of my life is unfolding, and that's all come out of the realizations and the learnings I had from the time away from work and the time to travel. And it is really incredible that, it's such a privilege to have been able to take that time and step away from work for a while. But it is incredible how much of a difference it makes to how I interact in the world and to assessing what my values are and where I want to be and what I want to be doing with my time. And I just really want for everyone to be able to have that for themselves, because we get one precious life, and I think it's just really important to be able to live it as authentically as we can. And there's always going to be barriers and parameters and things, we need to survive and we need to get by. But I just think so many of us, and me for so long, are just in survival mode, and then it's really hard to actually prioritize your needs and your values and the way you want to live life. So I'm really grateful I've been able to do that. I'm really excited with how things are unfolding and seeing where life's going to go next. And thank you for coming along for the journey and being a part of it. And it's great to share it with you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos on this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel. And do leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Thank you so much for being here. It's lovely to have you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.